welcome to my YouTube channel. On this tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you guys the measurement for the dress you are needing. You are needing 3 yards of chiffon or anything that you want for the dress. So now the 3 yards, you have to split it into two. So which is 1 and a half, 1 and a half. So now you have to fold it into two. So now the first part will be for the front part, while the second part, the two folding now, will be for the second part, for the back part, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I'm trying to tell you is that you take 1 and a half, 1 and a half for the measurements. You fold it into two. The 1 and a half, fold it into two. The second 1 and a half, fold it into two. So for the front panel, you have to leave like half inch measurement for the front part. The half inch will come out from the edge to the front. The back measurement will now start from the half inch. So now the measurement you are going to be needing for this tutorial is the shoulder of the person. You measure from the center neck to the desired length of the person. So now you also need the waist circumference measurement and the length of the person. So now to take these measurements for the shoulder to the desired length of the person, you take your tape rule this way. So you measure like this to the desired length of the person. So the person I'm using this measurement for, I'm using 27 inches for the person's desired length. I'm using 27 inches. So now you take your tape rule line. So this is the 27 inches. The measurement you are going to take in is from the back, the upper one. It's not from this one at the down part. So now you measure your 27 inches like so. This is the 27 inches. So now I will take my neck measurement. The neck measurement I'm going to be using is 4 inch. This is the 4 inches for the back. So now I will take, you can use 3 inches for the deepness of the back. You can use 2.5, 2 inches. But now I'm using 3 inches for the back. Now I'm going to curve it. So for the front measurement, it's like V-neck. I'm using 8 inch for the front measurement. It's V. So now you start from that, you bring your tape rule like so. So this V point. So this is it. Now this is the back, this is the front measurement. So now after this, I will come to the armhole part. I will come to this place. I want to do the shoulder slant. I'm using 2 inches for the shoulder slant. So now take my ruler. I will bring it to the neck part like so to make it slant. So you rule. I'll rule it now. So now for the armhole depth, I can use 9 inches. You can use 8, you can use 9. Because this armhole depth is going to appear at the wrist here. So now I want to use 8 inch. I don't want it to be too big. So this is 8 inch for the armhole depth. So now from here, I will come down to this place. The measurement for the down parts, I'm going to be using the hip of the person for this down part because I don't want it to be too tight. The hip of the person I'm making is 42 inches. So that 42 inches divided by 4 is 10.5 inch. So that 10.5, I'm going to be adding 5 inch extra allowance for ease. So 10.5 plus 5 inch is 15.5. So this is it. So now I will now take my ruler. I will take my tape rule. I will take 5 inch. So from that 5 inch, I'm going to curve it this way. From the 5 inch, I will take it this way. I want it to have curve here. So from there, I will now slant it to that place that I measured the hip measurement with 5 inch allowance. So now this is the way it's going to be. So this is it. So now I will take my scissors and cut like this. I'll first of all cut the front part. So now I will cut the down part, which is the front panel. I will cut it like this. So this is the front, while this is the back. The ½ inch allowance is still here. So now I want to cut the shoulder slope. So I'm coming down to the down part. I want to cut this place off. So I'll cut it this way. This is the place I measure my shoulder measurement to. This is the 27, so I have to trim off this place like so. So now what I'm going to do now, I will take what I want to do now, I will take my office pin, because this place will be difficult if you just separate it that way. To set it back, you take your office pin, you hold this midpoint together, the center that I measure ½ inch separately, you take it together with your office pin like this. So this is it. I've used office pin to hold the ½ inch sewing allowance for the string. So now, after that, I want to take one measurement. The measurement for the waist. The waist, that we hold the waist to the back. So now, the measurement I'm going to be using for that is, you can take any desired centimeter of your choice or inches of your choice. So now I'm going to be using my waist is, the waist of the person I'm making the dress for is 32. So 32 divided by 4 is 8. But now the measurement I'm going to be using for the rope is that 32, for you to tie it easily at the back. So I'm using 32 for one part and 32 for the second part. So now this is my 32, so that it will be very long for you to tie at the back. So this is 32, no matter how big the person is. So I'm going to be using 32 by 3 inches folded into 2. So I'm going to cut it out into 2 places. For the waist, the rope you are going to sew on the dress at the waist point to tie at the back to make it firm and the other bust, I used 4 inches by 26 inches. So let's go to the sewing aspects. So now for the sewing, you have to take your bias to do the neck. So now put your bias this way. Just use it to turn it. before holding the midpoint, this is the down part. All you have to do is just fold it like this. Just sew it. Fold the edges at the down part. So after sewing the down part, just take that half-inch allowance at the middle. Just sew it straight downward like this. Sew it straight downward. That's the reason why I asked you to use pen. Pen to hold it. Like it's very easy to sew. After sewing the mid part, so now the rope I'm going to be using for the string. So now is I want to use bias. So I measured 60 inches into two places. 60 inches into two places. What I want to do now, I'm going to be doing it this way. I'm going to sew it straight, the two places. I'm going to sew it straight. After sewing, now after joining it, this is it. So the two, you bring it together and sew it together. So after sewing, you take your safety pin, bring the two together like this. Now what you want to do now, you put it from the neck side. So you bring it out at the down part. So now after bringing this thing out from here, just this is the down part. This is where I bring it out from. I started from the neck side to the down part. So now just use my machine to hold it this way. It's very thick. So now after sewing, now you are going to the rope at the waist side. So how to do it? You have to take the measurement of your client's under bust. Our under bust is 14. So now I added half-inch to it, making 14 and a half. So now from the shoulder to the under bust that I'm using here is 14 and a half. I added half-inches to join at the shoulder. So now what you have to do, you take your normal waist circumference divided by 4. So anything it gives you, that's where you are going to attach it. So now the waist circumference I'm using divided by 4. I want to make use of is 32 divided by 4 is 8. But now I'm making use of 6.5. So that's where I've joined this together. I've turned it out. So I've turned it out. So this is the measurement I'm telling you about, 26 by 4. So now what I want to do now, after joining the belt to the clothes, this is it. This is the other side. So now you want to join the back to the front and finish it off. So I'm going to show you the outcome.